till with this nice weather and this nice heat. It's very hot in here. First of all, I'm going to start with a little tidbit that has nothing to do with anything that I plan to say, okay? You guys ready for this? This is called the prequel, okay? How many of you have a cell phone on you right now? Just by show your hands or in your brain, whatever. Okay, how many of you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Social Cam, whatever, Song Pop, Pinterest, on your phone right now? Okay, can I check mine? Because the Lord told me to give mine up, okay, and I'm about to die. So, the meaning of that is not for you to feel sorry for Katelyn. Oh, she doesn't have Facebook, she doesn't have Instagram. Poor thing, how does she live? It's that I want you all to get focused on God. During this whole thing, don't worry about what other people are going to say. Because regardless of how many people told me I was dumb for deleting my Facebook for the Lord, I did it anyway. Because do I care what they say? No. People are going to not like me wherever I go. But I care what the Lord says to me. So just be mindful of the Lord, and if He says come pray, have at it. This is the altar behind me. Okay, so to get to my actual thing I want to speak about, Jonah. We all know Jonah, right? I mean, he was the man that got on a ship that fled from the Lord, and he was afraid, and then they tossed him overboard, and he got swallowed by this big fish / whale, whatever you want to call it, and he washed up on this land, and then Jonah's basically over, right? That's all we learned about. Well, let's talk about the pre-fish. Pre-fish, prefix, right? That makes sense. So before Jonah got swallowed by the whale, we're going to break this down a little bit. If you don't mind, I'm going to use my Bible because I think that's the only thing we should use. So it says, in Jonah 1, it says, Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry against it, for their weakness has come up before me. So basically that says, Jonah was down in his little country, and Jesus says, Yo, Jonah, dude, get up and go to Nineveh. Them people are talking about me. They're saying bad things. You just need to travel your little butt all the way down to Nineveh and tell them all about me, because you're one of my children, and you know all about me. But Jonah rose up to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down into Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it, to go with them into Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. So this guy decides, I wish I'd have brought my map. If you don't know the area very well, which you probably don't because we don't live there, Nineveh's way over here. There's this big old body of water, and then Tarshish is way over here. That's so what I would do if I was running from the Lord. I'd go get on a boat and travel across some water. So that's what Jonah did. He paid money to get on this boat. When I think of the boat, it doesn't directly say it in the Bible, but I think of like a ferry. All right, he pulled his horse on there. He parked it, he tipped the little guy that took his luggage, and there he is, okay? He's ready to go. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. So as soon as Jonah got on the ship and everyone else is on, and they set sail to Tarshish, this mighty storm came in, and it was just crazy. It says, Then the mariners were afraid, and cried every man to his God. Now in the Bible it says God. Little g, little o, little d. They prayed into their gods. Their God isn't our God. Their God isn't who we serve. Just to point that out. And cast from the waves and were in the ship into the sea to lighten them of it. So they think, if we make the ship lighter, maybe we'll live. So they're tossing off their buggies and their horses and their jewelry and their clothes and everything. Just trying to get to live. But Jonah was gone down in the sides of the ship, and he lay, and he was fast asleep. Think about this. This cat was in the bottom of a ship asleep. I mean, the waves were just going crazy, and he was asleep. So the shipmaker came to him and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise and call upon thy God. In the Bible, thy God is capital G. If so, that God will think upon us, that we not perish. And they said every one to his fellow, Come, and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and it fell upon Jonah. One thing that we're about to learn is that Jonah was a Hebrew. When Jonah got on this boat, he realized he was on a boat full of Jews. Not that being a Jew was awful, but he was a Hebrew. He was different. For instance, this fellow back here has on a Louisville shirt, okay? I am just betting that most of you are Kentucky fans, okay? Right? Am I wrong? Right? So I'm sorry, brother. That's like being a Louisville fan on a boat of Kentucky fans. The Lord has already told him, dude, get off this boat, go to Nineveh where the Lord told you to go. Nothing good is going to come of this. But he did. He got on the boat, and they came to him and cast lots. And they fell upon Jonah. And they said unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause is this evil upon us? What is thine occupation? And whence comest thou? What is thy country? And what art thou people? This is a perfect opportunity for Jonah to lie. Jonah could say, my name is Nebuchadnezzar, I don't know who Jesus is, I'm a carpenter by trade, and I don't even know how I got on this boat. But instead, he told the truth. And he said unto them, I am a Hebrew, and I fear the Lord the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then the men were exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he had fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Now, number one, why would I tell these people that I'm on the boat with, hey, I'm the reason you guys are going to die? That's me. I take the blame for that. You guys are going to die. All my fault. I'm going with you, but it's all my fault, right? And they said unto them, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempest. So they say, yo, dude, like, you're the one that started this thing, so tell us how to make it stop, all right? And he said unto them, take me up, and cast me forth into the sea, so that the sea shall calm unto you. For this I know, that for my sake this tempest is upon you. He said, throw me over. Simple as that. Give me to the sea, and the sea will be happy. Easy, right? Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to land, but they could not, for the sea wrought and was tempest against them. So instead of just listening to Jonah, who's sitting there going, throw me overboard and you will be good, they go, well, we got to row harder, we got to pray to the God of the water, we got to get this done, guys, we can do this. And Jonah's sitting there saying, throw me over, guys, that's all you have to do. The Bible says, wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, we beseech thee, let us not perish for the man's life, and lay not upon the innocent blood. For thou, O Lord, hast done it, and it pleased thee. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased her raging. So finally somebody decided, well, yeah, let's just throw him into the water. The Lord will forgive us because that's what he wants, right? Well, after going through all this, you guys are probably thinking, this girl is wacko. Why is she talking about Jonah? It's burning up in here, and it makes no sense, right? Jonah is our burdens. Who in here has a burden that they have right now? Even if it's small. It's itty-bitty, it's only this big, but it's right here, and you're thinking about it right now. That's our Jonah. Our Jonahs aren't going to jump off the ship by themselves, but our Jonahs are causing all this turmoil around us. They're telling us that our lives can't be happy, that we can't have fun, that being a Christian isn't even cool. But our Jonah, all he needs to do is be kicked off. Just throw it off. Give it to Jesus. He's the sea. Just throw it off. But you see, the one thing that I look at when I was studying Jonah that the Lord brought to me, and me personally, because I've been battling with this Facebook thing for a long time now, and I knew that the Lord was telling me, Katelyn, just throw it out. Well, I was expecting it to get better myself. Jonah in this story was standing there on the ship. He was saying, throw me off, throw me off. Why didn't Jonah throw himself off? Jonah could have saved us a lot of trouble in this story if he would have just said, it's my fault, and just jumped off. Your troubles and burdens aren't going to get rid of themselves. The Lord's just waiting for you to take a step and to just toss them off. Simple as that. What if this Friday night could change your entire life? What if you could leave here feeling free of your Jonahs? I can honestly tell you that I'm free of all my Jonahs. My social media Jonahs are gone. And just get rid of your Jonahs. He weighs a lot, and he makes you look very unpretty, which all of you are pretty, but Jonah's not very pretty hanging around on you. So just take him off and cast him so that you shall have a peaceful mind, because that's what the Lord wants you to do. And that's all I have. Thank you.